Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the to the Festival of Storytellers Chapter 3. You're still tuning in, and our author is Pastor Eddie Naylor just finished his Honor of the Hour interview for his book How to Keep Your Mind When Everyone Else is Blown Apart with Landmines of Life in the World. That's that's also been interviewed by one of our hosts, Mia, and along with author of the hour, and also here right now, my co-host is back, Lourdes. Say hello to everyone.
Hi, Nelsie, and hi, everyone. We're back. We just concluded the session with Pastor Eddie Naylor. That's the author of the hour session featuring his book and his upcoming books, actually. And it was an insightful conversation involving God, religion, or faith, and then having the incorporating psychology into it, like how when you are in the right position or religiously, you will also have the right um, mindset into psychological aspect. So, Nelsie, I know that you have been doing the author of the hour, being an MC on the backstage right after each session. Now, what do you think was different in Pastor Eddie Naylor's author of the hour session?
Actually, with Pastor Eddie Naylor's author of the hour session right now, I was listening to them. It was quite really interesting as he was talking a lot about how to be inspired by God and not to be pursued by evil. Because there's a lot of things that are connected to evil right now, as he said on his interview, and also will be discussed in his book, How to like conquer evils and pass through it. As he said that he had a vision when he was struggling, because he started being like had an addiction, drugs, and everything. But then suddenly he had a vision about that he needs to do a lot more things to open eyes for a lot of people, and that's where he started inspiring, and also then he decided to write this book because it's all about God and how God helped him come through all of his life and push forward. So how about
Yes,
you, Lord?
I actually agree, Nelsie. Yes, I do agree with those things you have mentioned, and also is there was a lot of comments, and it was actually insightful and really really interactive with everyone in comments and in a lot of things in total. And I think one thing that I would be imparting with others as well, which I got from Pastor Eddie Naylor's session, is that if you are really committed into religiously or in your faith, you do have that chance to start anew in your life and eventually become better as you were before. So it not only that you will be enlightened in as much as being guided with your faith or your religion or your understanding with the scriptures, but it would also be insightful to others if you share your story or if you talk to them in such a way that you have been always as being deep into the word of God.
That's actually correct. At least everyone will but about all Eddie Naylor, something Eddie has already talked about. Because this book is actually more focused on technology, psychology, and actually God mostly. As we already have been, there's a lot of technology, like we've been going to modernization, technology is pushing forward, and everything's going like easy, but it's also giving a lot like there's a lot of news having like teenagers, people with depressions, and because of how social media brought up, and that's also one of the reasons of how Miss Eddie has written his book how to pass through all the stressing, frustrating, and challenging events in your life, especially with how technology in our 21st century has brought us with right now. Because there's a lot of advancement that it has been going on, and with that advancement, there's a lot of things, bad things that are actually a lot of people go through, especially with our social media right now. Like if before, if something happened, usually person that only knows is like the people that are around in that event, like your family, your friends, something like that. But right now, with social media, with all of the people that has phones, internet, computers, tablets, and everything can be shared two and two. And if you have interesting moments, it will be shared all over the world. And it will cause a lot of people like cyberbullying and a lot of depressions and will cause them a lot more. And one of the things that Mr. Pastor Eddie Naylor has been going through on his book is how to pass through that actually. So
And of
that's
course, yes. And if you guys are interested in grabbing a copy of his book, and of course, looking forward into the copies of his upcoming books, just visit www.pastoreddienaylor1.com. That's pastoreddienaylor1.com. And of course, I'd like to thank those the audience that have been commenting and have been joining us all throughout the season or the chapter, not just today, those who ask questions or authors, and of course the insight, especially the insightful ones, giving comments, and of course giving a lot of insights in, helping her out, just getting through the session, and of course having a lot of, conversational thoughts. And I think Nelsie would agree that it has been a wonderful chapter. A lot of authors have shared their thoughts. A lot of storytellers have, shared their stories. And in fact, later on, we will be having another Author of the Hour session featuring Rotha Dawkins. I know that there has been changes in the schedule of our Author of the Hour sessions. Unfortunately, one of our authors can't make it today, but we will have author Rotha Dawkins later at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
hopefully all the audience and also all the readers and the fans of Mr. Russell Dawkins will be looking forward for his Honor of the Hour interview with um unfortunately Mr. Henry Chris is not gonna be around on his Honor of the Hour for this after this intermission. But with this event, actually, even though it's going to end, as we said in the intro earlier, it's quite sad, but it's also fun having this event, and we will still be seeing you by next another chapter for this one, chapter 4. So everyone still tune in, and we'll be still here, and also we'll be still supporting all the authors, and we'll be also publishing their books so that all of your books will be shared and connected to all the readers who will be able to find and want to know more about them.
Exactly, Nelsie. I know the fairgoers that we have here are really looking forward to another chapter. I know some of the authors are really excited about another chapter. We have all those authors going live almost every day, which was also, depicted on what they have been doing for the live booth streams. We have Napa Storm to Tanner Road with her almost daily live booth session, which is I highly, recommend. And you gotta seize all the opportunity that you have. And of course, our featured authors earlier, Ellie and Dr. Joanne, and they have been super supportive, and they have been so great with the sessions and the roundtable sessions that we've had. It has been really insightful, it has been fun, and it's really, really fulfilling for us here at Readers Magnet and the Festival of Storytellers team to, get pushed into our limits to having this chapter being such a success that it is now.
Yes, that's really quite true. As to know more about the four authors and to know more about all of their views, and hopefully we'll be adding more authors for next time on our chapter 4 and adding more and more and more in the near future as well as the authors actually really time and getting to know, just like Miss Ellie and White. They started as readers, but because of Readers Magnet, they were able to connect with each other, and now they're good friends and are actually um, enjoying each other's company, especially on their own when they're having live one-on-one interviews with each other, and hopefully we will see more of them.
Yes, I actually have that feeling as well. We may be brewing something for both of them, like the Joe and Ellie show, the Jolly show. Maybe that's a thought. We could have that someday, but it's in the process. We might be brewing something else as well for the other authors that, we could have that on our platform, our own readersmagnet.com website, because we are, of course, streaming live on the festivalofstorytellers.com. And outside Tifa's season or Tifa's, time, we might have something else on our website maybe soon. And that's some of the things that we have been planning and some of the things that are under work. And I guess Nelsie, they will be seeing more of us here at Readers Magnet and of the Festival of Storytellers.
Yes, that will be great, and hopefully everyone will be looking forward for it, especially for the shows, Mrs. Joanne and Ellie. Hopefully, we will see more of those beautiful ladies who are actually a lot of people enjoy to watch with because they are just having fun. It's not. It seems like they're just talking out of fun, like how friends talk at each other every single time, not just talking because it's work, just because to market themselves, but actually they're enjoying their time. Just like how Mr. Miss Napasir have been having live interviews almost every single day. He enjoys to connect more to the audience. He readers magnet actually. So yeah, so that's how we share your story, every author's story around the world.
I actually have this feeling that there would be more authors coming up for the next chapter, because during our roundtable sessions, and there were authors that are just new to the environment or to the idea of having the Festival of Storytellers, and they were interactive and they were really looking forward to having more of those sessions. So someday or soon enough, we'll have another chapter, or we'll reopen the platform that we have, and eventually they'll be here and with us. Hopefully more and more will be encouraged to joining and engaging with us here. And I know for a
I
fact
know.
that this is our last day for the Festival Storytellers, and seeing in our adventures platform, our quiz scoreboard, we have a lot of people on the top. So, looking forward to having the winners soon enough, who will be receiving Kindle devices, and we will be communicating with them. I will personally call them and ask them for the details, so where we can send them their Kindle devices. And also, there are actually to sidetrack, we have the Empire State Book Tour already concluded. We've had the Reader's Magnet Book Confab in Tribeca, New York, last October 20th to 30th. And we also had the New York Library Association Conference and Trade Show last November 3rd and 4th. And it was just a great, great way to eventually share the stories of everyone in the Readers Magnet community and the Authors community, and of course Fairgoers community, and eventually having a pool of authors gathering around and really communicating and engaging. And with us here at the Festival of Storytellers, we have fairgoers, we have authors, and we have those in adventurers that are joining in our quizzes. And it has been fun. It is a great 2 week of excitement and successful interactions with authors, fairgoers, book lovers alike.
Yes, it's actually really quite fun to have all of these events going through, even though it's a bit hard for us right now, but it's also actually really enjoyable as we able to help all of the authors and all of those readers who want to connect with each other. And also, it was really quite to have fun with how the Rebecca was went through, and we had a lot of new authors there. Even had some of the actor and like some actors that have actors slash authors that went there and interact with other authors that are actually starting also.
Yeah, we
Yes,
had Alex Hyde White, we had Jordan Rhodes. Those two authors are both actors in their own field, and Alex Hyde White was actually a producer as well. And um, it's really heartwarming to have these authors with us here at Reader's Magnet, and really looking forward to having them at the Festival of Storytellers as well, because we would want to hear their stories shared to our fairgoers. And you know what else could happen, next year or the next chapters to come. It's really going to be so exciting. And I'm really looking forward to having you here still, Nelsie, and the rest of the community and our team at the Readers Magnet and the Festival of Storytellers. And it's gonna be quite a long ride from here.
yes. Hopefully, I'll still be invited as one of the MCs for the festival storytellers and also interviewing a lot more authors for the free interviews as I enjoy talking to a couple of authors that are really nice to talk to and sharing their stories around the world. And some authors with their experience are actually really inspiring and actually learn a lot more from them, just like how Mr. Pastor Eddie Naylor shared his story earlier. Yeah, and also with the audience interacting with their comments and questions earlier. And he was talking about a lot more about God and how to despise evil and protect yourself from your mindset that only God can keep you away from those things, even though with a lot of things going on right now, with how he said that technology is one of the good things that happened, but it's also a bad thing. Because I mean, technology did help us a lot in conveniency, and also technology does help a lot in terms of communicating a lot on our family, our loved ones, and everyone else to connect with. But it's also one way to build make a bad thing, as it will like there's a lot of things going on social media that could happen, and that's how he said that it's not really God will still be always there with you that can help you around time.
Yeah, I think the question with that, answer from Pastor Eddie Naylor was, what would be considered as landmines of life. And I actually agree. As a marketer working in social media in the digital marketing world, it's really gonna be like a black hole or a landmine if you keep immersing yourself in social media and Facebook and a lot of things that are gonna be harmful when not when uncontrolled or when not regulated. So you have to really balance it out. If you do use the technology or social media, you have to think of having regulations, or in the process policies for yourself as well, that will help you, better your life, not just connecting with other people, but also connecting within yourself, that you don't miss or you don't forget the exact essence of communicating and connecting with your loved ones or with your friends. But in that essence as well, using technology as a means to share your story, having a website or having everything else, it should not necessarily revolve under the idea of just having or just being online, but also it should be regulated, and it should be controlled, because um, like too much of something could be bad. And that's what I got from Pastor Eddie's response as well. And I'm really glad that a lot of the audience really asked questions, and it's helpful for the author to to think of ways on how to share the stories from their books and then answer the question relating to that. And I'm guessing, Nelsie, it's really been fun hearing these different kinds of stories, different kinds of thoughts, and really just varying personalities from all of our authors that we have featured.
Yes, there's actually true. As you said, there's actually a lot of interactions going on, and it was quite fun for with Pastor Eddie Naylor also to know what his audience and readers would actually like. As you said, technology is one way of as Pastor Eddie Naylor said, like an evil thing, because on social media, there's a good thing with websites sharing a lot of things to connect with people, but sometimes some people are getting addicted to social media and having like addicted to being famous, um, spending too much time in it, and also giving them negative thoughts, negative things, and a lot of bad things. Even with kids right now, it's quite harmful. As sometimes when they get too addicted with games, with watching movies, watching series. I mean, it's also okay to pass time because it also helps them sometimes when they're studies. But some of the kids, it's becoming harmful for some of the kids because spend too much time on it. And when you try to tell them, they get mad. They started tantrums. They give a lot of they say words like they started. It's okay to learn good things, but sometimes kids right now are starting to learn a lot of negative things also from the internet. So I can actually feel how Pastor Edenager said that internet is also one of the things where you can get evil and bad things. So yeah, hopefully a lot of people will be inspired by Mr. Pastor Eddie Mailer and also want to get his book so that you would also know how to deal with those things, especially right now with how the technology is and with how the kids are with the new generations of kids. Because in my generation and Lourdes' generation, it wasn't that much of the technology. We didn't even know much about like watching movies. We need to have like CDs before. We need to play it on the TV. We need to go to like a friend's house just to watch those kind of things. If we want to play, we go outside and play, get our hands dirty. And if we say we throw some tantrums and get mad, can't do that because our parents will be more mad at us and we won't be able to eat the whole day. But kids right now are quite a fighter because they throw a lot of tantrums. So hopefully all of this book will actually inspire those parents, help them calm their minds and have spiritual things so that it will be able to help them.
I actually agree, Nelsie. It has been, I kind of reminisced when you just mentioned that way back. But one thing I also remembered from Pastor Edin Naylor's discussion was when he talked about the book, Who Are You Yoked To? So he mentioned that he is yoked to his wife and he met her like a few years ago when they were just 21. And I realized that he mentioned that you have to be yoked to God in order to find somebody for you. You don't have to go to the landmines such as Facebook looking for somebody for yourself, like for a partner, perhaps. So, what that sort of, was embedded in my mind because it's kind of relatable. You don't have to really go out there and present yourself. You just believe in God, believe that He will be having someone or has a plan for you. It doesn't matter if it's a certain partner, but he definitely has a plan and his will that be done. And that is one of the few things that I've learned, and hopefully I'll impart as well to to the viewers and to others who are listening to us.
Yes, hopefully all the viewers will actually learn from that. And as Mr. Pastor Edin Naylor said, that you should be yoked to God because God will give you your soulmate in the future. You don't need Tinder, Bumble, and any kind of dating app, I think, because actually it's been a lot of people using it. I'm not sure if Lourdes is also using it right now, but yeah, that's how things are going on. And just like how Pastor Eddie said, you don't need social media to find that someone, but God will give you that someone on the right time, on the right place, on the right time for you. You don't need to rush on things because everything has a reason, and every step of the way when you move forward or you move backward, everything has a reason for you. Just like some of the authors always say, like everything is connected, and what you do also always reflects to everyone actually.
And I agree, Nelsie. It couldn't be more correct into having the interconnection of what you do and the repercussions or the effects of what you will be doing in the future. It would really, impact your story. It will impact the flow of your life, and just how Pastor Eddie, discussed that it will be just you who will determine what your path of life would be. And if you incorporate God into your life, then it would be much more insightful and much more clearer in the process. And as what Mia has mentioned as well, having faith or believing in something actually makes your perspective more broadened, and eventually having a direct connection with those things that are more powerful than you are, like the things that you can control. Those are the things that can be taken care of by a superior being like God, and something else that we can truly believe in. And I agree that that would be helpful in living a better life, as per se, having someone in the process, like a special someone that you are yoked to or you are really dedicated into. And eventually we'll have those in our life later on. And I'm really looking forward to hearing more of these insightful messages as well in our author of the hour session later with Rotha Dawkins. And that would be the last session for the whole chapter.
Unfortunately, we'll be ending our journey with Festival of Storytellers, but we will still be seeing you in the Chapter 4 and other events that we'll be having by next year for Reader's Magnets. And everyone who actually wants to be inspired and know more about with Pastor Eddie Naylor, and know how to deal with a lot of struggles in life right now with psychology, technology, and especially with God, and be faithful and hopeful. You can grab a copy of this book on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, and also check out his website at www.PastorEddieTaylorSenior1.com. You can know more about him on his website also, and you can know more about his book, and you can also grab a copy of that.
Yes, that's correct. And of course, please do stay tuned for our next Author of the Hour session later at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is featuring Arotha Dawkins. And let's look forward to what books she has to offer and to feature for our session later on.
Yes. So stay tuned, and I will be staying here with you later, and we'll be talking about more about this Rubber Duckins, and also we will be having all the sessions that we have later. And also there will be working along the way with later. So if you would like to connect more with people that has the same likes and goals with you, you can also go and speak.
Okay, see you guys later on.
Bye.